What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Well, I am at St. John's Cemetery here in San Mateo, California. This cemetery is very small, tucked away back in a residential area. You almost, like, if you don't know it's here, you almost miss it as you drive through the neighborhood here in San Mateo. We're gonna find some areas that are like hidden graves. We're gonna find some areas that are, you know, well known. We're gonna find some people who are founding fathers and of the area, of the cities surrounding San Mateo here. So let's get into it and explore some of the more hidden areas of the cemetery before we get to the more well-known stuff. Let's go. So this is down a hill here underneath a bunch of trees. This is probably like, looks like it's pretty old down here. And on this tree right here, something very interesting up against it is just this statue, this angel statue. It's just there on the tree. And up in here, I had to come down through the cemetery, down the side path to get to this area. I've been here before, and I'll tell you what, I never knew this place was here, or this part of the cemetery was here. We're getting into some old stuff over here. Wow. Look at this one right here. Geez. Looks like a child's grave. It's a child's grave, it looks like. Let's see, get my glasses on here. J.C. Evelar, born May 1st, 1911, died October 15th, I think 1912, I think it is. This is interesting right here. This little tiny grave surrounded this beautiful border, hidden down here up underneath all of this. Oh, died in, oh, okay. May 1st, 1911, and October 15th, 1911, I do believe as well. Okay, so this child was not very old. I think that was that death date was 1911, I think. Luigi. Frigiaro, 1886 to 1913, native of Italy, rest in peace. Up underneath the trees here. This is held up well because of all the trees hanging over here. And here's a picture of Luigi as well. Like I said, I've been here many times. I never knew this section was over here. I've always stayed on the main paths, and I noticed from the main area there was a little dirt path that came down a little hill. And here we are. I just found this, something I didn't know was here before. Angelo Cabrera, 1883 to 1918, or 18, I think 83 to 1918. Damn, the picture's damaged, but it's still there. I wonder if this is the one of the oldest sections of the area. Wow. This is interesting. Forgotten. Graves that are forgotten. There's another one with a picture over here. Let's look at this one. Virginia Sterlino is all I can make out on that right now. Everything's kind of washed out. And there's her picture. Beautiful. What I think happened over here is I think the hillside kind of eroded a little bit because there's a grave down a little, I'm not going to go down this little thing. I don't know how stable it is, but it looks like there's a grave down at the bottom of this little hill here, and it looks like there's dirt at the bottom that has bunched up. So I'm thinking over the years it may have eroded over here and kind of have a little downfall here a little bit. Just a guess, but because that grave is in an odd spot. O'Kennon, John J., beloved husband and father, 1880 to 1921 on that one. Portolo Tiani, 1870 to 1925. Beautiful little marker. And this is another one that's kind of, there's no name on it, that cross right here. It's kind of, looks like it's kind of starting to go downhill a little bit over here. I would use Find a Grave more over here, but I know in this cemetery, in this area that I'm in particular, my signal's bad over here, so there's not going to be using Find a Grave over here in this part at least. George M. Sporer, 1874 to 1926. This is incredible over here. Yeah, I've been here at least 4 times, 3-4 times, and I have never come across these graves. I never really looked this far down the hill. Just over here, this is the main area with the road, a little road and everything, and this is off the road. Dedication of their friends, A.J. Vieira, born April 28th, 1903, died February 18th, 1928, native of Portugal. And F.B. Pinto, born April 1901, died February 19th, 1928. And there were pictures on this, but I guess they are no longer here. I was kind of looking around the ground here to see if they'd fallen off out here somewhere, but I don't think so. This is a child. There's a couple child's graves in here. Our big man, George Spinazzi, April 24th, 1928 to 1928. I think it's May, 1928. Rest in peace. All these little hidden gems in here. Coming back up into the main area here, they've got it's like a concrete, this is a vault, I guess, sitting right out here waiting. They'll probably need to use it at some point soon, so they already have it out. Now this is the Howard Mausoleum here. I found a little something on it. It's under Peninsula Royalty, the founding families of Burlingame and Hillsborough, which are the outlining cities to San Mateo here. It says, the Howard Mausoleum at St. John Cemetery, San Mateo, California, was built in honor of Edward J. Whiting after his death at the age of 36 in an elevator accident. So Whiting, I guess, was part of the founding families of the area. In the Howard Mausoleum here, there's no windows. There's no window in the door. There's no windows on the sides. It's just right here. But this door is awesome. It's got a big old knocker on it. This is awesome. Cocconi. D. Cocconi. This is like one of those graves from the Italian cemetery in Colma. Look, they have a bunch of them there. Luigi. 1911 to 1932, and Edema, 1882 to 1938. Beautiful here. Here is the last name of Faye, Donald and Catherine. He was born August 10th, 1929, died June 29th, 2012, and Catherine, September 20th, 1932 to September 13th, 2019. Donald here says he served as a Marine in the Korean War, where he was awarded the Purple Heart. When he came home, he married the love of his life, Catherine. They moved to San Mateo, where he raised his family and resided for the last 54 years. He worked for Pacific Bell and had a distinguished career that spanned over 35 years, retiring in 1981. He was a volunteer at the San Mateo Historical Society and put his woodworking talents to use, restoring many treasures from the past. Then volunteered for the San Mateo Police Department, which gave him great pleasure and allowed him to give back to his community. Wow. So, he was known in the community. Let's check out the little photo on their stone. Works for Pacific Bell. Who here remembers Pacific Bell? Pac Bell. And he was in the Korean War. Got the Purple Heart. Wow. Now there's a part of the cemetery here that I find fascinating, and I'll show you why. You saw me come through the front gate at the beginning of this video, but I think I found another gate. It either could have been the original front gate, or it's just another access they had at some point to the cemetery. But let's go check it out. As we're walking down this little hill here, it looks as though this is like all original iron fencing right here on the side. Look at this. That's all original. It's still all intact. It's a little warped looking, going down, kind of leaning now. But this is like legit here. But at the bottom of this hill on the left here, there's a little private family mausoleum that I always found fascinating. It was always unmarked. But before we go and look at this real quick, let's go look at this old gate. It was, you know, it was probably another entry point to the cemetery before all these houses on the other side of these fences were built. I'm sure it was like another entry point. It could have been the front gate, but I think I might have walked through the front gate. This just might have just been another gate. But I'm sure all these houses here behind these fences were not here. This place is surrounded in a residential area. Look at that old, it's like an old lock on this thing. It's interesting. And it doesn't really go anywhere now. There's like a trail that goes up to that old part I showed you at the beginning of the video, those old hidden graves. It says on it, keep out. But this is another entry point, and I would assume this is the old road coming in. You know, I think this might lead to a area for the workers that they keep all their stuff. But this is probably like one of the original roads to come in here, which is insane. I wonder how far back this little road goes that I was just showing you. I'm sure, could you imagine back in the day, probably horse-drawn carriages coming through here, coming to the cemetery and going through that gate I just showed you a minute ago. But I think this pretty much leads to a maintenance yard that they have nowadays. But if you go look, there's fences, and looks like there's like a house down behind this fence. It's just a big residential area now. But it's just, I guess, yeah. Oh, I'm seeing like building materials at the end of the road here and everything. This is pretty much a maintenance yard for the workers. Oh yeah, there's just bricks and stuff down there at the end. Let's go back and look at that one mausoleum that I was telling you about a second ago. Coming back up the trail here, here's this one. This has always been a mystery. Not marked. The window, there could have been windows in the door, but they're blocked now. It's beautiful, mysterious. You can see the old steps here. stone steps they covered with concrete, looks like. Crazy. But yeah, there's an American flag on it, which tells me there was probably somebody in the military here. But like I said, it's a mystery. And there was a company that I found on Instagram, somebody that follows me and I follow them. It's V Fontana and Company. And one time, not too long ago, they had posted a picture of them on the inside of a mausoleum doing some restoration work on the inside. I think they were doing some lettering or some stenciling, and they were doing some work in there like that. And they do, you know, memorial work and restoration. And I had asked them on their post in the comments. I said, was that little mausoleum down that one little hill at St. John Cemetery? With no name on it, because they had mentioned in the post it was St. John Cemetery. And they said, yeah, the little one in the corner there. And so they were, I guess, I don't contracted by the family, I guess, to do some lettering inside, I guess, for some of the people inside. And I think I do believe the last name was DeGuin, and they gave me the name, and there was a picture of them on the inside doing some work. And I will include that picture in the video here so you guys can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. And I looked them up on Find a Grave, and there was a Charles de Guin in there, and they said in his little obituary that he was a well-known sportsman. And it says he was born February 19th, 1889, and died September 28th, 1927 in San Francisco. And he was born in Paris, France. Very interesting. But it was just kind of like a weird coincidence that somebody I follow on Instagram, a company that does like restoration work and stuff, was actually doing work inside here and had a little small picture of them inside. All right, guys, let's get to the good stuff now. The big stuff that I've been holding back on you guys for. Right up back up the hill here, it is the final resting place of the Parrot family. They were responsible for donating some land for this very cemetery. So their little final resting place is pretty grandiose and big. Let's go. And there it is, the Parrot family, namely Miss Abbey M Parrot. She, on May 28th, 1885, donated land for the establishment of this very cemetery, St. John's. Abbey M Parrot. And this is, of course, they donated the land for this, so of course they get quite the spot right in the center of this cemetery. But what's interesting is this little walkway leading up to this door underneath. This is actually where everybody is, inside here. This is just all the whole thing up front. We'll go up top, up the stairs and look at it. But this right here is, to me, the most interesting spot. I get the feeling they might give tours in here every once in a while. And there's somebody in here that was in the military as well. There's a member of the family on the left there, the flag draped, I guess, coffin. Wow. On that side, it looks like there's just a table, some kind of shelf. I think back there in the center, there's somebody else there too. I think that might be Abby. But yeah, I'm obsessed with this one. This one is just gorgeous. That's crazy. Off to the left, looks like a flag draped coffin. Let's go up the stairs here and kind of investigate the upper level on this, where they have everyone's name and everything else. And here's the upper level, this beautiful monument. A beautiful altar in here as well. For the Parrot family here. Funny thing is, I'm not seeing a Abbey M Parrot, But there is a Mary Donahoe Parrot. I wonder if Abbey M was actually M for Mary, because I'm not seeing Abbey listed on this anywhere. I'm seeing John Parrot, born in San Francisco, May 7th, 1859, died in San Mateo here, January 20th, 1918. And Mary, born in San Francisco, July 6th, 1862, died San Mateo, March 1st, 1922. And on the other side, there's a Joseph Augustine Parrot, 62nd Infantry, U.S. Army. That would explain the flag-draped coffin down below. Born in San Francisco, January 7th, 1888. Died Camp Fremont, October 29th, 1918. And Francis, born March 20th, 1898. Died June 6th, 1917. And Genevieve, born in Paris, September 4th, 1889, and died in Berlin, December 24th, 1889. Oh, okay. Very, very interesting. But here's the monument. I mean, geez, this is just, this family donated the land, or Abbey did, but the family pretty much donated the land for this cemetery. Now, this is just insane. These were the old original stairs before they put, I guess before they put these stairs in. These were probably, this is probably the access points behind the chain, these little stairs right here. Here and here. Let's take one more look at this little altar up here. This is just awesome. And before we close out this video, I just wanted to stop by this massive mausoleum here. I found a little something online under Peninsula Royalty, the founding families of Burlingame and Hillsborough out here. We found Agnes Poet. It says the unmarked mausoleum of William H. Howard's mother, Agnes Howard Bowie, sits high above the bay in St. John Cemetery, San Mateo, California. And there's really nothing more about Agnes Poet. Let's see here. Poet with two T's, P-O-E-T-T. But like I said, under the founding families of the area here, I found on a website, I found this one. I know I've seen pictures of this one before, and it never used to have a gate around it. But I think I know why, because it looks like it's crumbling. Up the stairs here by the front door, I noticed earlier, I noticed some, looked like some concrete had fallen. So I'm thinking they don't want anybody to get too close to this structure because of, I think it's starting to crumble and fall apart now, which is a shame. If this is part of the founding families, this Agnes Poet is part of the founding families of the area. They should really try to get some kind of effort going on to restore this one. I would love to get closer to it, but it does have a gate around it. And, you know, this channel, we do not trespass or go somewhere where we're not supposed to be going. But, yeah. This one is beautiful. One last look. Takes up a lot of room, too. So, we got some pretty well-to-do families I found. The last couple were some pretty well-to-do families. The Parrot family, Abbey donated land for this cemetery, and this person right here, this family, is Agnes here, is, I think she's the only one in there too as well. That's all I could find. Founding families of the area here. Actually, about that last one, the Poet family, I'd found a little something about that family. I guess they were like landowners, and you know, of course, they were considered the founding families, like I said before. But I guess their main thing was land ownership, just like the Parrot family that donated land for the cemetery. Anyway, guys, it is hot out there. It's about 80 degrees. It feels a lot hotter than that. Yes, I had water, in case, before you guys even ask, I had water. I was drinking water out there. It's just hot. So there was a little bit more of the cemetery to see, but I had to kind of take refuge in my car because I was burning up out there. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are digging the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and click that bell icon. Therefore, we could, or not we, but you can be notified of all my future uploads. See, I'm burning up. My mind's going crazy. I'll probably come back in the colder weather months, you know, do a redo when the weather cools off a little bit. Today was, like I said, it was only 80 degrees, but it felt so much hotter than that. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much, and I'll talk to you later.